Testing one, two, three. Can anybody hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
All right. Good evening.
Good evening.
How are you, everybody? Can you hear me, guys?
Yes.
Hear anything? Turn up the volume. Hi, everyone. How are you?
Good evening. Checking in, Noemi.
And I know Emmy. We have as many people from uh, the reporting group than board members. So Viet, I know Jumira excused herself that she wasn't coming today. I think she has a conflict. It's only right now. There's only Heidi, Noemi, and myself. I know Virginia. You're from the 3-4, right?
Correct.
Okay, all right. So then I should call you Officer Peralta rather. I thought it was an attendee.
No, it's fine. I know it comes out as my first and last name, but it's okay.
That's my grandmother's name as well.
Oh, Peralta?
No, Virginia.
Oh, nice. That was my grandmother's name. They named me
Oh,
after
really? Yeah,
her.
very common in those days. Probably they're the same generation. Altagracia and Virginia, they're like a,
Uh-huh.
a Raphael for men is like everybody's name in that age. It was like an honor
Right.
to be called any of those names.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Ty,
Good evening, everybody. Sorry, I'm a couple minutes behind.
you drive?
No.
No,
I'm
no,
just at
no.
home. Yeah.
Just anybody that drives. If you guys found today that there's more traffic than ever,
Oh,
just,
I do drive in general. It wasn't driving today. Did you see something, or is it
no,
just an
there's just
observation?
just just traffic, just
Yeah.
just chaos. It's more traffic than I've seen in months.
We might need congestion pricing up here.
Stop. It doesn't deter anything.
Just deters my pocket.
Yeah, just about every law.
Yeah.
Just about every law. If you have money, you have money. It doesn't hurt you. But just about every law, it just hurts us more than anybody else. So have no reservations about that, whatever that is. You guys want to wait a few minutes until we get at least one or more board members, or you guys want to get started? It's up to y'all.
I don't have a preference, but Paola did send an email that said this was at 7 and then one at 6:30. So I don't know if people are confused about the start time, even though this is usually at 6:30.
Oh, that's a good point.
But
Yeah, I don't know if others saw that.
the one at 7, isn't that another meeting?
No, I think she got confused with land use.
Yeah.
Yeah, land use. Yeah, that one.
I think that she got it mixed up.
Well, I'm with you guys till 7:10. I have another meeting at 7:15.
So how about how about we start and then you give your spell and your presentation or whatever report, and then we move right along. How about that? Is
That's
that okay with you all? All right, so 6:40, we're gonna get our meeting started officially. Board members Ty Fujimura, Heidi Guzman, Noemi Diaz, and from the 34th precinct, Officer Peralta. I may or may not be CEO Hernandez, but whoever that is, I will know figure out who they are. So we're gonna get started. And Superintendent Miller, floor is yours.
Hey, good evening, everyone. Happy March, happy Women's History Month. Just updates from Edgecombe. Since our last meeting, or last time I spoke to you, I think we had 2 major snowstorms, so that was a lot to shovel and clear, but we were very cognizant of our neighbors, and staff worked sometimes 24 hours to get those sidewalks clear. Everything's going well with the program. We still have our annual private citizens tour in the first Tuesday in June. So if someone hasn't been able to visit Edgecombe, just send me an email and I'll send you an invite. We have community partners. We have individuals that are seeking employment, of course. We get clothing donations. We get book donations, and we just try to be good neighbors. So everything's been fine as we continue with the transitional housing program as well as the women's work release program. So that's my quick report.
Superintendent Miller, what's your placement rate like from the folks that you have at the houses, or
Okay,
which one?
that's a good question. Recently what we've had is individuals staying longer, which as long as I have space, I don't mind, because the individuals that reside with us are not reoffending. So they're not violating parole, they're not getting new arrests. They're kind of very stable, and we're trying to build them up. So even though originally it was supposed to be a 90-day program, we saw that they can't get a lot done in 90 days. So we've been extending it. And what I'll do is I'll come with some data next month.
And do you have partnerships with local businesses or institutions that allowed for folks to do internships or first-time jobs or anything like that?
Not local partnerships. We've been working with like Workforce One, Reform Alliance, trying to get some baseline skills and give them opportunities to interview. We had a couple of people interview for Sylvia's restaurant, and I think one person got hired. So when we can set up targeted things like that, because some of them did go through a restaurant ready program where they got their food safe certificate, safe serve certificate, so they know how to interact, how to work in the back of the house or the front of the house. So that's one aspect. And then we've been trying to look at some like Google type platform opportunities. So just looking for those kind of things. And we also have a voucher for individuals that if they do find a permanent place to live, we can help them for 6 months. So we have a couple of people doing that right now, that they're seeking, whether it's a room, a studio, or apartment. We can give up to $2,000 a month for 6 months. So we've been working on those and trying to get those kind of partnerships, relationships going with realtors that can help us in those spaces. So it's all building. That's what's good about a pilot. Like, you look for things, some things don't work. You look for what does work and try to build on that. So that's what we've been trying to do.
Pretty good. I've worked with Community League of the Heights. Are you familiar with them?
No.
Yeah, they are at 157th between Broadway and Amsterdam. They have probably the largest work fair in the Heights. 20 to 25 employers go there. I can connect you with the gentleman that runs it. But it's sustainable. Like, they do one fair a year, but they keep the resumes and they distribute them to, like, because a lot of the institutions like the Columbia University and the New York Presbyterian usually go through them to get employees. So that's a good contact for you to have. So
please share. You have my email address, so just send me.
Yeah, I'll send you it. know his name is Anthony, so he's pretty good. They're always looking for people.
Okay, yeah, definitely. I'd love to follow up with them.
Okay. I don't want to be the only person asking questions. I think I had that in mind for a while, so I was just waiting for the right opportunity to bring it to you. And
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
Listen, what we need. It's a partnership. So any time to build and network, and I'm telling you, when the two things that we know for a fact is that education and employment really help people succeed and reduce recidivism. So that's our emphasis.
absolutely, absolutely. I think that's our wise words. Yes. Okay. Thank you. So that's my commitment to get you that information. Move forward. Okay. From the district attorney's office, we just received in our space Jocelyn Minaya. Just started a little late. I guess there's some confusion with the starting time. I guess some people got the email saying that it was at 7 p.m. I don't know if you were one of them.
No, I know it's at 6:30. It always is.
All right.
Yes.
So there you go. Came at the right time. You want to get us started and tell us what's up in your world.
So good evening, everyone. I hope everyone is well. Thank God this winter is almost done. Hopefully, knock on wood. Wait. And looking forward to warmer weather. I don't have too much to announce. We had a very successful human trafficking forum last Saturday. I want to thank everyone that was able to stop by. When it was timely, it came on the heels of a case that was just adjudicated that I reported on maybe a year ago or a little over a year, where a 16-year-old boy was being sex trafficked in the confines of the 34th precinct. So the defendant did plead guilty to sex trafficking of a child and sex trafficking amongst other charges. And I'm pleased to say that he was sentenced to 12 years in state prison for sexually assaulting and trafficking the 16-year-old boy, who, by the way, he was able to groom through social media. So, we have to continue to making a push to educate our youth about the dangers in social media and how to be safe, and just continue spreading the word amongst not just them, but the community and our parents to make sure that everyone is aware that human trafficking is something that, is real, and it's here in our communities. And we need to remain vigilant. So I'm glad that case was adjudicated, but that's one of many cases that we have and see. And, it's a never-ending war that we are happy to be a part of to try and make sure that we go after these bad guys and get them. So just wanted to bring that to the committee. And, that's all that I have for this month.
Just a quick question, Jocelyn. Has there been an uptick on domestic violent cases in your office?
I mean, that for me, there's no such thing as uptick. Domestic violence is prevalent in our community, especially north of 96th Street. We have the highest incidences of domestic violence cases. I'm happy that we have wonderful partners within NYPD. The restructuring of the domestic violence unit has been working out well as far as I'm concerned. And in fact, we have just started a pilot project with the 3-4 and the 3-3 precinct, where we are reaching victims even prior to an arrest, because, sometimes there's not an arrest right away. It might take, the detectives a few to be able to catch up with the perpetrator. So we're trying to reach the victims even before an arrest and try and connect them to services and try and get, a lot of the case paperwork in order prior to an arrest to make it that much easier for whatever ADA is assigned. Once there is an arrest, they have a nice, neat package ready to go and ready to start prosecuting the case. So I wouldn't say there's an uptick. I think it's just remained high. aside from the 3-4 and the 3-3, the highest number of cases that I see on a regular is actually in the 3-2 precinct in Harlem and the 25th precinct in East Harlem. And we're actually moving the pilot project to include one of the precincts in East Harlem as well. And eventually, ideally, it'll go to all the precincts in Manhattan where we're able to do this. But it's a super heavy lift. But we are proud of being a part of this pilot project here. And it's not just the Manhattan DA's office. It's going on in all of the other boroughs as well. So hopefully, we're connecting people to services earlier than what we usually tend to do, which is after an arrest and reaching out to the victims then.
How does that pilot look like? What does it entail?
So it entails coordination with the precincts where the domestic violence officers are sending us the complaints once they're taking the domestic incidents reports and the what we call the 61s, which are the complaints, and we're connecting to the victims that way. As opposed to us connecting to the victims after an arrest, after a person goes before a judge and, the order of protection and all of that. And then is when we would step in terms of the victim services portion of what we do, or especially what I do. Now we're doing it pre-arrest, pre-arraignment. So ideally, the idea is if we connect victims to services right away, hopefully they'll be willing to move forward with the case, and hopefully they'll be, feel safer in leaving that situation, because we know it takes a victim 5 to 7 attempts before they leave a domestic violence situation, and a lot of times it's for a whole number of reasons, whether it be they're financially dependent on the perpetrator, or they're afraid, or they think that they have nowhere else to turn to, or maybe the very real fear of immigration consequences keeps people from being able to move on, and hopefully if we can reach them and try to allay some of those concerns and connect them to real wraparound services, that it'll be much easier for them to be able to move on from that situation.
That's an experience that was very close to me about a couple of days ago, as far as that situation, and I was at loss as how does the process work? Because I know after you file that complaint, and the woman has to leave the home, who do you go next? What is the next step? I mean, I sent her to your office. I didn't want to call you, and kind of like didn't want to get involved.
Yeah.
But I do know that how she was able to navigate to at least had a place to stay for until she was safe.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta thank you for that. Now keep the name.
Well, you gotta call me. Don't be, just because you don't want to get involved, and I get it, doesn't mean
I don't know how it works. Yeah.
Well, you can call me and learn how it works, and then tell them, or just give them my number, and I'm happy to speak to anyone and just walk them through the process. It may very well be that a victim does not want to involve PD or the DA's office, and that's understandable, but there's other resources. You have family court where there does not have to be an arrest, and there's still the same number of resources. So yeah, never hesitate to call me, and that goes for everyone else on this committee and in the community. Never hesitate to call me. I'm ready to give information on DV anytime, 24/7.
And you'd be surprised, because all I was doing was just getting a haircut, and this lady walked in the barbershop, running away from this situation, and that's how I learned about it. It was like, what do you mean? Like, it could happen to any of us. We could just be in the middle of anything without us knowing.
Yeah.
Carl,
domestic violence doesn't have a stereotype, right? Nobody knows what that looks like in terms of victimology. Anybody could be a victim. Doesn't matter where you come from, what your socioeconomic status is. None of that matters. Anyone can be a victim, a man, a woman. So yeah, definitely. Please never hesitate to call me. I don't care if you're sitting in a barbershop chair on a Sunday at 3 p.m. Okay?
I think Carl has a question for you.
Oh yeah, so sorry, I sort of came in late, but I did not get the identity of this speaker, Josephine Minaya.
Jocelyn
Jocelyn,
Minaya, I am the director of the Manhattan District Attorney's Washington Heights office at your service, Carl.
Oh, you are the person in that building? At
I'm
our,
neighbor.
yeah. Okay. The same floor as where we have our office.
A neighbor, yes.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. You work for Alvin Bragg, a friend of mine. Oh,
Yes, I
thanks.
work for the district attorney.
Yeah. So you said to call you when we have some like issues with maybe community police. What exactly? What
So
was the problem you were
district,
describing? Yeah, the problem you were describing before.
the district attorney's office is criminal court. So
Sure.
we're the prosecutor's office. So anything criminal in nature, yes, you can call me. But anyone that comes into my office, you don't need an appointment. We accept walk-ins, and even if the issue does not fall under the purview of the DA's office, you're going to leave there with a resource. No one ever leaves my office empty-handed. Just because it doesn't fall under what I can do for someone, they're going to leave there with some possibility of someone else helping them.
Very interesting. Actually, a lot of times when I happen to be in the area, your office are closed. So what are your hours on a regular basis?
Regularly 9 to 5:30.
On what days? Monday through Fridays?
Yes, sir.
Interesting. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
I hope you never have to go there unless you come in to say hi. I don't wish that upon anybody.
I know.
Why? We're nice there. What are you talking about?
Well,
And the
we
coffee-
actually, if you arrest one of our clients, we might mix things up with you. But other than that, we are cool with you.
Yeah, and they have Bustelo coffee, so the coffee is great. So
Oh, really?
know.
Okay.
Yeah,
Interesting. Good
coffee
to
is
know.
great.
Good
Okay.
to know.
All right.
All right. Well, thank you, everyone. And I
Thank
will
you very
be
much.
here for any questions later or whatever. But I'm going to shut my screen off.
Thank you, Jocelyn.
Oh, you're very welcome. Hi, Tanisha.
So
Hi, beautiful.
Hi, Noemi. All right. Bye.
you just stole my thunder. I was just gonna say hi to her. What?
I'm sorry I'm late, y'all. I went to I forgot we were supposed to be on Zoom because I was out and about and I was like, let me go to the office. And then I'm like, oh, we're on Zoom tonight. So
Yes, ma'am. So we're gonna pivot to the 3-3 and hit their report. Who do we have the pleasure of having today?
Hey, good evening. I'm Lieutenant Vincent Caprino. I'm the Special Operations Lieutenant. I'm going to step in for Captain Hernandez and give everybody an overview of the 33rd Precinct.
How do we know that you're a real cop if we're not seeing you?
Hold on.
That was just a way of saying, can you put the camera on?
Yeah, can we see me? All right, because
Yes, there you go.
Try to connect to the Wi-Fi. I was having some issues. So in the precinct right now, we're up in crime for the year by a little bit, about 17%. For the 28-day period, we're up almost 25%, so it's 23% or so. The three crimes that are really affecting the precinct right now is felony assaults, robberies, and burglaries. And a lot of our burglaries tend to be package thefts. I don't know if anybody has experienced it. People getting into lobbies of buildings, Amazon, UPS, FedEx, when they leave your packages by your mailboxes, people tend to come into the building that shouldn't be in the building, and they're taking those packages and making off with them. I'm happy to report that we've actually arrested quite a number of these offenders. We're working on to making sure that the burglary charges stick with the district attorney's office, and these people hopefully stay in and bail gets set. They tend to be our repeat offenders. This is not like new to them. They've done this before. That's kind of their MO. Robberies are up as well. We have some delivery robberies that are kind of concerning. People calling for it's been pizza, it's been Chinese food, it's been different things. And then when the delivery driver, gets there, they're unfortunately robbing the delivery driver. But our detective squad's working on the second. There was another group that was doing it. The first group, I think we've actually gotten all four that were part of it. But so far, like I said, robbery, felony assaults, and burglaries are what's kind of driving the crime right now in the precinct. We're actually down in grand larceny, which is really good. Grand larceny could be a multitude of things. One of the things I've seen in my time in the 3-3 is a lot of people, they go to mail their rent checks, and they dump, they'll go to the mailbox on the corner, they put it in the mailbox, go about their business, and then weeks later they're getting a notification that they never paid their rent even though they put it in the mailbox. Turns out that someone fished it out of the mailbox. So the one way to kind of avoid that is to go to the post office directly, and there's a little bit more accountability with that when it goes to the post office directly.
You mean inside?
So yeah, because you're going inside, there's cameras, right? You're handing it to an actual human being. It's not sitting in a mailbox where, unfortunately, mailbox phishing is a thing. A couple months ago, we actually got 2 people in the act of it, in the middle of it. And then a couple months ago, actually in a building, we had somebody trying to break the mailboxes in the building to get in. So we were able to grab some of these people, but they're very efficient. They're very efficient at doing it. They're really good at it. And like I said, those are the things that have been up for crime wise. But someone brought up domestics. We right now our domestic violence major crimes are actually up for the year. Well, we got to do a little bit of a better job. But I think trying to making sure that our repeat offenders do get punished, and they can't reoffend, and hurt our community, our people in our community. So those are the biggest. I think those are the biggest things right now that we're dealing with. Like I said, burglary. I think we're going to. I think those numbers are going to go down, because actually just today my guys went out and we got 2 people who were known to be stealing packages, breaking into vehicles. So hopefully this, it's the beginning of a trend downward for burglary.
Okay, Ty, that's your territory. The numbers.
Yeah, I love asking about these, getting more detail. So, do you have any indication? So, like, I'm looking at your comp stat, and there's like the cluster of things like the robberies, the felony assaults, the burglaries. They're up significantly year over year. I'm just wondering if you have a sense of why. Is there some factor that the community should be aware of, and like how those things are changing? And on the positive side, your retail thefts and your petty larcenies are way down. So I'm just wondering if you can give us more insight, like from your perspectives, on what's happening so that we can inform the community.
Well, felony assaults, like we've had a couple that are assaults on police officers. That it does unfortunately happen. The other thing I've seen in felony assaults are usually sometimes domestic related. We have strangulation cases. Also, we have cases of members that are elderly that are being assaulted by family members. And if there's that, if they're 65 or older and someone's 10 years or more younger than them, that's going to make it a felony assault. So even if you punch, Ty, if you're 66 and I'm 50 and I punch you in the face, even though that would have been assault 3, that's actually assault 2 because of the age difference, and you're over 65, right? So that's also, we've seen some of that, which is a little concerning. But yeah, I think most of our felony assaults, unfortunately, are domestic related.
Okay. But do you have any sense of like why it would change year over year? That's kind of what I'm getting at. It's kind of surprising to me.
Yeah. I mean, for felony assault, no. I don't know if there's a single factor that would go into why it's up this year as opposed to last year. For the most part, I think it's the one thing I can say about felony assault is some of it is it's not random acts of violence. I think if that's what you're getting at, where it's, I remember a couple of years ago where we had kids playing the knockout game where it's kind of like a random act of violence at that point.
Sure.
We're not really seeing that. Like I said, most of our felony assaults tend to be domestic. So you get like your strangulations, or, someone gets in a domestic, it gets heated and someone throws something at somebody else and hits them. And now they have an injury. Well, yeah, you used, your cell phone, you threw it at somebody and you hit them. Right now it's a felony assault. So most of our felony assaults tend to be domestic related.
Okay. So, and there, just to note it for the board in general, there is a quite concerning like 2-year and 16-year trend in that particular category where I think it would make sense for us to to think about how we can outreach to the community to call that out and try to influence things. Last thing on the GLAs, so we've talked about it a bunch.
Mhm.
Are you still seeing the same problem with the car with
Toyota Highlanders.
the key replica
Yeah,
moves and all that? Okay.
you're not seeing anymore. It's not the 90s where people break the window,
Right.
screwdriver in the ignition and take off with the car. So a lot of it is the key fob, the key fob cloning.
Right.
One of the GLAs that we took for the 28-day period was actually domestic related. We kind of flipped back and forth whether it was going to be an unauthorized use of a motor vehicle or GLA because it involved a rental vehicle. Who wasn't on the rental agreement? Who took the rental car?
Sure.
Kind of back and forth of who was really the victim. Eventually, they made it a GLA. That's kind of one of the eight is actually a domestic related GLA. Yeah. So the other ones that we're still investigating, we're trying to get better video. We're also trying to set up a camera on 165 and Riverside because we sent Riverside Drive historically, right? Riverside Drive because it's dark, it's not well lit, and it tends to be an easy spot for these guys to go to.
Right.
Same thing.
I believe I don't think it was you last time, but the other officer from the 3-3 was saying that you were deploying specific teams to that area, 165 side.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, we have a conditions team that goes out there. But what's funny actually is for the 28-day period, what used to be Riverside Drive that we were seeing a lot of the vehicle thefts and some of the vehicle part thefts. Their deployment there has actually pushed the problem north. So it's now the northern end of the end for the 28-day period actually has been getting hit, like around Haven Avenue. We've seen a cluster. So now we're kind of moving them a little further north because it's kind of like it's almost like we're chasing them around a little bit. We go to one area, we start hitting that one area. They see us there. It kind of displaces the problem a little bit. So now we got to focus on the northern end of the precinct with our border with the 3-4. But I have a good relationship with the auto larceny sergeant from the borough, and we try to do joint initiatives with them. And I also have a contact in the auto larceny unit in general. So for the city, and we're trying to keep up to date on some of the guys that we've arrested for GLA. So like I said, like you brought up, it's mostly the key fobs.
Okay. So sorry, last question before I move stop talking is I think we've spoken about potential outreach to the community about the key fobs. So folks who own those particular vehicles need to be aware of this because it just keeps happening and increasing. So I'm wondering if you all have done anything and if we could maybe collaborate on anything else.
Yeah, what we want to do is we want to see how many people in our community are registered owners of the Highlanders. I think we actually checked out right now.
Right.
I'm not going to get everybody because I know some people have family that come and they used it, whatever it is. Like some people have cars registered you have property in New Jersey, Pennsylvania, you register the car there. I'm not going to be able to get that, but we want to do an outreach event. We just got a new crime prevention officer. I don't know if anybody's met him yet. Officer Geraldo. Officer McDonald retired. So we have a new crime prevention officer. We're trying to coordinate. I'm going to purchase actually the off-market. It's like an off-market AirTag, and the reason why it's not an Apple AirTag is if these guys who are stealing your car have an iPhone, they're going to be alerted to the AirTag in your vehicle. They're going to look for it. They're going to find it. And they're going to throw it out on the side of the road, and it's not really helpful. You're going to have an AirTag on the side of the road, and your car is going to be gone. The off-market one will work. I think. I believe when I read up on it, it will work with your iPhone, iOS, and Android. I think you just download the app, and it'll be for your phone. So we want to do that. I'm just waiting to coordinate with our new crime prevention officer because I want to set a date. Weather's getting nicer, so I think we're going to get a better turnout when we do it. So that's an idea that we've been looking at because the Highlanders, Toyota CRVs are always popular to steal. The Honda CRV and the Toyota Highlanders, those are like the most popular vehicles that you see stolen.
Okay. So we have access through the board to the Link NYC displays. And this feels like something that we could easily take advantage of those displays to just tell people about. So I wonder if we could coordinate on that. Would you mind putting us in touch with the crime prevention officer?
You want I actually just had hold on one second because I literally just So I can give you, if you want his email, I can give you his email, and you can
Sure.
shoot him an email. It's Eduardo.Geraldo. So I'm gonna spell it for you. It's EDUARDO dot. Geraldo is gonna be HIRALDO at NYPD.org. So Eduardo.Geraldo@NYPD.org.
Got it. Thanks.
Shoot him
That's
an
all.
email. I think that's a great idea. At least, get people, aware, especially people. Not everybody comes to these meetings, not everybody logs on. So, and again, not everybody uses social media. So I think, if someone's on the street and they see it, I think that would be great.
Well, I'm gonna say it. People are poor, honey, and we are getting poorer by the day. If you don't know, because I missed it too, Con Ed just raised our rates 11.4% for electric and 13% for gas. So hold on, because when you get your Con Ed bill this month, we're gonna have a problem. We are always going to have these type of crimes. We are always going to have this type of stuff going on in our community when we have a big population of poor folks and no opportunities and no resources. The neighborhoods that are well protected are the neighborhoods with the most resources. So I plead with my board for us to put our heads together and come up with some things that we could do to encourage our elected officials, to encourage our mayor, to encourage our governor to support our community with the things that they need, so people don't got to be stealing cars and car parts and all of these other things that, our 33rd is on reporting to us. Because if I don't say it, I don't know if it'll get set. So thank you.
It's thought about and considered. And you said those percentages, and imagine if we had a data center from one of these big, like Google and stuff, when just populations are paying 20-25% increases on their electricity bills in places like Ohio or Kentucky, whatever. I was watching an article on that. So imagine, we usually end up carrying the bigger load of growth. I'll stop there. I want to get anybody riled up. But officer, thank you much. Unless anyone has any questions, I want to pivot to the 34th before I let you go. Officer Peralta.
Hi, everyone. For those who don't know, who don't know me, I'm Officer Peralta from the Community Affairs 34th Precinct. In regards to the year, we are down in crime. Nothing major to report from the last time. For the 28-day period, I see we went like just one thing up in the felony assaults, and that was a felony assault on a police officer, which an arrest was made. So that's all I have for that. Naomi, I brought up the situation about the double parked cars to my boss, the CO of this precinct, and everyone here, the captains, and they reached out to everyone. The officers are not allowed to park in the crosswalk, like we said, so people could pass by, and if they do, they're getting in trouble for it. So they know, if you don't want nothing major to happen to you, then don't park in the crosswalk. Due to the snow, it is hard to park, and we've been working with sanitation to come around and kind of, shovel stuff, but it's just been hard. We're just waiting for the snow to melt to then park regularly and normal. And Ty, we had an event yesterday, which I reached out to you guys, in case if anybody wanted to come or to put it out there. We had a self-defense event yesterday. So that was like one of our events for this month, March. If we're gonna do another one, it might be in April, probably not another one this March because it is gonna be kind of busy moving forward. Tomorrow's our community council meeting. If anybody wants to stop by, it's at 7 p.m. here in the 34th precinct. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Virginia, for getting back to me.
Officer Peralta, do you have a date for the April event?
Not yet. Ty, can I have your email so I
Yeah,
could just I send it to like Anthony and CB12, but I could send it to you directly whenever we have to start planning the event for April.
Yeah, just put my email in the chat here. So please feel free to include me on those communications. I'm chairing our outreach committee, which we've just started up. So we're thinking about all these things and how we can just like have like an ongoing system of like understanding what you all are doing.
Yeah.
It goes obviously for the 33rd as well. Because whenever you do these outreach events, we want to amplify that and make sure that people know. So.
And it goes for the DA's office too, Ty?
Of course. Sorry, I forgot the DA.
Thank you.
Eli, you're muted. Sorry.
Sorry about that. On the nightlife concern, is anything that's happening that is being chaotic, like the way that it was for a minute, especially September, October, the numbers were kind of high there.
So nightlife will be nightlife. I don't know if you've seen videos online. We've had some fights in Meta, Mexico, and
again, yes,
a lot of people have been arrested from there. They're looking to get closed down again because it's been a lot. It's there's like videos going around where like they're throwing tables and stuff like that, and it's not even people from this community. They're coming from other places.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Like it's just they bringing chaos to this community, and it's just like what's going on, but we've arrested multiple people that day where there was a fight in Meta, Mexico, and I've seen the officers getting many guns off the streets, if it's a 911 job or like a car stop. So but so far so good, but because we have a lot of the new guys standing out there at the clubs, to prevent things from happening. However, sometimes, people still do fight in front of the officers and stuff, and we make arrests when that happens.
That incident in Nagel Ave in, what was it, right after Dykeman, was the First Street Arden or Dyke?
Yeah.
There was an incident there in which an individual lost his life. I don't know if you recall it, and if you do, did they ever catch the perpetrator?
Oh, this was you're talking about last year?
Yeah, it was last year. At the very end of last year.
Yeah.
Oh, they did?
Yeah. They got the guy.
Is that club from what?
Where's this club at? I'm sorry,
that's Arden and Arden Ave and Nagel. It's been there for a while.
That's talking about Caramelo.
Caramelo, that's right.
Yeah, that is also people not from the community going there.
I know. the hip hop party there is famous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the type of music that they play, it's just bringing the wrong crowd. And we tell them, like, we're going to shut you guys down and everything. And it's like, they don't care.
Well, I wouldn't know. My bedtime. I don't be out here in these streets, honey.
Neither do I.
But I know people who do, so I'm like, yeah, we need to
I definitely don't
figure out something about that chair.
here because it's a lot. It's too much. You never know when you're gonna get a fight or somebody that wants to come in with a gun. However, we do have cops out there just to make sure, we prevent these things from happening. So, because we have a lot of nightlife out here.
Yeah, I
I
managed.
have a question for the community board, actually. Is there any way that the licensing committee can send a letter to the SLA and say, like, this club is a problem for our community? We want to alert you.
I actually want to bring that up in the next licensing meeting because it's insane.
Listen, we've had, and I'm going to use this as an example and get me in a whole lot of trouble, but I'm going to say it. I'm going to be Tanisha. Now for a minute, but I'm going to say it because it's not going to be said, generally speaking, right? There are clubs and institutions that are able, by some miraculously way, to surpass our advisory opinions as to what the community feels when it's time to renew or open a new business. Miraculously, they get license renewals and they get new licensing. Like, there's an institution whom the law, the SLA club, the SLA liquor issuance says that there should be they would only allow 100 licenses when the businesses are 100 yards away from a church or a school. So it happens that one church was approved a liquor license, or a liquor license was approved within a church. So things just happen, just without explanation. I'm not gonna name names, but to answer your question, Jocelyn, yes, there are things that happen that are out of our control. And the SLA sometimes don't really, make their decisions based upon our input. They just their
Just
decision.
think that the community board can go on the record and send a letter anyway.
We have.
Whether they listen to it or not, at least, that they know, like, the community and the board is on top of it, and we're not happy about that.
Like, we had Fantastic morphed into a new name, same ownership. El Jefe was something else, and it became El Jefe. New Mexico has been how many names does that place have had? And with
the same.
Made in Mexico.
And it's shut down 11-11.
Right, 11-11. Right, in Tabaco y Ron, like.
I'm gonna Jocelyn Isidro will be here tomorrow. I'm gonna tell him about those places.
I tell him about Caramelo. I don't even know how the place is still open.
I know, it's been terrible.
That place has just been like the worst run club in this. Ty, go ahead. I'm sorry, just ranting and raving here.
Sorry, to change of topics, if that's okay. I just noticed on the CompStat that you all had a traffic fatality in the last month. Could you tell us more about that?
Oh, sure. So basically, it was a car, and I think it was a bicycle, and basically the car like hit the bicycle, and the guy. It was nothing like it was nothing intentional. The car just happened to be, I guess, speeding, and then didn't see the guy, and the guy happened to just pass away. The guy actually stood on scene. So, the officers took care of that, but it wasn't anything intentional. It was just, I guess they were not paying attention. And the guy ended up passing away due to his injuries.
That's awful. I'm so sorry to hear.
Yeah.
So do you know the specific street? of
It
that
was
ac-
two. This happened a little while ago. It was on around two. I can't remember. I could look it up for you. Let me
Okay.
remember the street. I'd say it was up there in 212 and Broadway around there.
Okay.
So they had like, cause I remember they had the whole. I was here for that.
Okay.
Can't remember
Yeah, and that's last year was 0 traffic fatalities for either precinct. So it's
Yeah. So
yeah,
this
that's where we want to be, and that's really
tragedy.
tragic. Yeah.
Yeah. That actually, yeah, happened in the 28-day period. It was on yeah, it was around there in like 212 and Broadway.
Okay.
But I'll get the exact street for you. Just give me a minute with that.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, I see some like social media content about it, but very little
Those are long crossing sidewalks.
Yeah.
Yeah, very long. Yeah, they probably should. DOT should do something like they did in St. Nicholas and 183rd or 184th. They shortened it, and I think they did that in Broadway and the corner of Broadway and Nagel, when Nagel begins. They shortened it. It has a name. I forget what it is, but they're crossing street, the
Daylight
sidewalk.
savings.
What was that again?
Daylight savings.
Daylight 7. Yeah, Daylight 7 is taking away a parking spot, 1 car parking spot from the corner. That's daylight. But this got a different name. It's embarrassing. I should really know what it is since I worked there. Right, Heidi?
All right, so I actually I was able to pull up a video on Instagram. It's got a little description. Just want to read that out for people's awareness. So their reporting of it is that someone was driving, it was on Broadway in 212. They took a U-turn and hit the guy. The guy was on a moped. And as you said, Officer Peralta, the driver, remained on the scene.
Yeah. It's on 212 and Broadway, yeah.
Yeah. And it was unfortunately, it was a resident of the community, apparently. So I'm going to try to find out a little more about this. We might want to communicate with traffic and transportation. I mean, it doesn't sound like there's like a structural thing that could have changed this, but because it was perhaps the driver was U-turning, aggressively, and like just the person was in their blind spot or something like that. So
yeah.
But really sad. Thank you for the information.
Yeah, no.
U-turn in Broadway, right? That's insane.
I mean, that's an illegal U-turn, period, right? So, actually, sorry, last question on that is, Officer Peralta, is there any like ongoing, was there a violation that was filed, against the driver, etc.?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Yep.
So that's in the process with you guys?
Yes.
Okay, got it. Okay, keep us updated on that, if you don't mind.
We have issues like this, and then they want to put a school on 181 and Broadway's, and we're trying to fight the good fight on that too. So it's a lot going on here in the 3-4.
Virginia, I got your back, okay? I am the chair of youth and education, okay? We are in agreement, okay? We don't need no more charter schools in our district. No, thank you. We have seats for high schoolers. We don't need it. We don't want it. We understand the mess that Broadway already is, and what that will do. We should talk offline. I'm putting my contact information because I am with you on that.
I'm gonna need you. I'll be happy to call you because
in fact, they are presenting
everybody.
They are presenting right now in the land use as we speak.
Well, my commanding officer is actually on that one because we're trying to fight the good fight. I said
Yeah.
out this meeting and I told him, can you please go on that one? So
Yeah.
we're trying.
I missed the walkthrough Friday, but it doesn't make any sense, especially just makes no sense, especially when you can't go drive to 181st Street because there's no traffic, because it's just a bus lane, just absolutely
It was
insane.
on 212 and Broadway is just a broad street. There's too much traffic. Anybody could get hurt.
And on the educational
Getting-
sense, like Tanisha said, how many more charter schools do we need? We need funding for public schools.
And
Other
for
than
them, Chair, to even
whatever.
be thinking about putting that school on that corner, knowing all of that traffic there, knowing that's the connection to the 181st Bridge, that's the connection to the George Washington Bridge. It's not about teaching our children at all.
At all.
Yep, I think we get it. I think we get the point.
Yeah.
So for those
But
of
we
you who
definitely
have,
invited them to our meeting next week for
Okay.
folks who are on. We definitely invited them. Come
So-
tell us why we need another Zeta charter school. So
So
we
if
can
you-
tell you absolutely not.
Yep.
if you guys
With a
wanna have a
smile.
little, if you guys want to have a
I'm
little
gonna put
fun,
some lipstick on and everything, Chair. You know what I'm saying? Get my little suit going, you know what I'm saying? Absolutely not.
I'm with you on that.
if you guys want to have a little fun, join the land use meeting. They're on right now. So unless you guys have anything else interesting to bring up to Officer Peralta and officer from the 33rd. No?
Motion.
Thank you very much.
Motion to
Second.
dismiss.
Second.
All right, have a great night, y'all. So let's join that meeting.